Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do like a really much more like a fresh makeup today. I kind of went out last night and so I don't really want to do a lot of makeup. I have some errands to run later, so I'm going to do kind of more of like a skin based makeup with more skincare in it. I'm going to show you the skincare that I use at the moment. I've already done a cleanse on my skin. I've used Lizelle cleansing polish. I was going to use I could do more like a facial, so I was going to do I was going to exfoliate and use a mask, but I kind of want to do that tonight, so I didn't want to like exfoliate or anything this morning because I wanted to do that at night tonight, so I'm more like fresh face for tomorrow morning. So I guess I'm going to get started. I just realised when I put the camera on I look a lot more puffy than I thought I did. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, you know what, I didn't look too bad, you know, for the fact that I did actually come home till midnight last night. And actually I look in the camera and I'm like, oh goodness, I do actually look very puffy. Anyway, that will soon be gone. Anyway, like I said, right, so we're on skincare. So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of facial oil. This is just the Balance Me Radiance face oil. It's just like a little rollable. I like this one because it's just quite lightweight, and I just had it. I think my mum got it as like a freebie with like an order that she did. I think probably on like what's it called? Not Very, the other one. Look, Feel Unique. That's the one. Feel Unique. And then she just gave it to me because she doesn't really use face oil. She's more like a serum kind of girl. I am more of a face oil kind of person. I don't like the way the serums kind of sit on my skin. They don't really soak into it. I feel like they kind of sit, and then eventually when I put my moisturiser on and rub that in, like serums tend to go quite bitty and like roll up. But oils I actually find really kind of go and like soak in easier on my skin and actually leave my skin feeling really, really soft. Ooh, so I'm literally just putting that all over. You could just put it like where you get dry, but I literally just smother my face in it. And usually if I'm going with like, if I'm actually doing like foundation, because I have mentioned before that I'm not a big foundation person, but if I do, like say for work, I'll mix in oil just to kind of make it a lot easier on my skin and not have so much texture. Right, so while I haven't got like eye cream on, I'm just going to use a bit of this Puff Off from Benefit. I've had this for way too long. I was literally working at Benefit when this launched, and this is like the one that they gave me for free, and I just haven't used it because I'm not usually like a puffy eye kind of a person, so I never really thought it'd be useful, but it is really lovely. It's very cold and it's supposed to be like a little iron. It does nothing like the actual shape, it's just very nice to kind of like the point to get in this little corner, but really it's not really for anything. It has a slight peachy tint, but doesn't really come off once you blend it, but it's very cooling and it's very like balmy, which I like, so it's very hydrating, but it's not really something I would like buy. I haven't bought it, I got it for free. It's not something I would go out and purchase independently. There we go. I just prefer kind of, I think I'll go for a drugstore one, or like I know Real Techniques now do like skincare brushes, and they have like a little metal ball that you can use to put your eye cream on, and that I feel like would do so well. Okay, so I'm going to put some moisturiser on. I've been using the Revitalift from L'Oreal recently. At Mother's Day they on Mother's Day week they had like a discount on all L'Oreal skincare, and I've always wanted to try their stuff because it's fairly expensive for like drugstore skincare. But the ingredients that they have in them are ingredients that I do like to see. Like this one has like retinol in it, so it's really good for anti-aging, but it's got high SPF, it's got 30 SPF, which to be honest, anything more than 30 in the UK, not in the height of summer, is a little bit excessive. So like 50 I tend to say for like summer and holidays, but 30 is like more than you need. Which is actually really good for something that's a retinol product, because you need to wear SPF when you use retinol anyway. So it's nice to see that something that actually, you know, the day version has SPF, because not a lot of like day creams have SPF, and I'm like, a lot, like especially like ones that are targeted for like anti-aging, and I'm like, the key the key thing preventing aging is SPF. The sun is the majority of aging, and yet you're making anti-aging product and it hasn't got SPF in it. That just boggles me, but this one does, and it's really, really lovely, and it's got like a really nice, like again, like a balmy feel, and that's what I tend to prefer. I like to have like a bit more of like a smooth finish. I'm just going to use the coordinating eye cream. I've been liking this as well, very, very smooth and soft. So I went out last night. One of my colleagues is actually leaving MAC. I say like, well, she's literally moving over to a different counter just because she wanted like a full-time contract and we didn't have one available, so she's gone over to a different counter. So she's not leaving the store or anything, but we still wanted to kind of celebrate her kind of moving up to, you know, more hours and stuff. So and also kind of celebrate her time at MAC. So we went out bowling. It was like 5 or 6 of us. Yeah, because one of the girls had to leave early, so it was like 5 and then 6, and then it came 5 of us. We went bowling, and it was really fun because it was like 50% off bowling and food and drink. But it was like really, really hectic because it was half term, so it was really busy. And we thought, oh, because it's like quite vibey when it's really busy, we thought, oh, it's going to go really quick. Literally, it took us 3 hours and 20 minutes to get through 1.5 games, because halfway through the second game we gave up because we were like, no one really is enjoying this anymore. It's like we're trying to complete it just because we paid for it, and we were like, whatever, let's just go. And we asked the person, can we just leave? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'll just use a bit of Fix and Perfect Pro, just a tiny bit, just because I want a little bit more slip on my skin. Literally like a teeny tiny bit, just on the T-zone. But yeah, so we went out, and then afterwards we were gonna go to like a pub, but none of them were like that nice. Like we went around to find one, and they were all a bit dull. None of them had music. Like, it was Tuesday, but still, like, you'd expect like a little bit of fun, especially for like half time. I know like half time's more for like obviously underage kids, but like you have like people at uni and stuff home to, you know, for Easter, so you'd think that they have a bit more of a vibe. But anyway, oh, I'm just using a little bit of my Bobbi Brown Extra SPF 25 Scented Moisturising Balm in Extra Light. They now do Alabaster, which they didn't do when I bought this, and I've always thought it's a great like level of colour, but it's just a little bit too yellow, and Alabaster looks a little more pink. So when I finish this, I'm definitely going to use Alabaster. I just love how rich it is. It's just so, like, again, balmy. I love a balm, love a balm. Anyway, yeah, so we were going to go to a pub, and then we kind of like, fuck this, so we went to one of the girls' houses and just had fun from there. We played loads of music, had some drinks. It was so much fun. Literally, the time just flew. Because, you know, sometimes when you go out, because you're kind of like forcing yourself, and like times that she's dragging, and you're like, oh, when can I go home? Literally, I was like, the girls were like, oh yeah, I have to leave now, and I'm like, what? No. Literally, the girl was like, oh yeah, like my boyfriend's come to, like, he's literally outside, he's come pick me up. I'm like, what? No, don't leave. But it was so much fun. Literally, I haven't had like a girls' night in a while, and it was just a lot of fun, Yeah, I like that stuff. It gives like a really lovely glow. It's very natural, and I think it's the little bit of yellow in it helps with my skin just to kind of boost it up, because I can look very like ill because I'm so fair. I think it's also looking a lot yellower in this light because it's a yellow light. I need to get a white bulb. My skin's looking really yellow as well, so I think it's looking even more yellow because of that. Right, I'm going to go with my MAC, the light Conceal and Correct palette. I'm going to go with a little bit of the NW10, mixed maybe a little bit of the pale pink with a 286 brush. I'm going to take that underneath my eyes. Yeah, I haven't had like a girls' night in a while, and it was just fun to just have fun. And the girls were just like so up for like anything. We were all just like vibing off each other, and it was a great time. I actually know who won bowling. I think it was Emma, because my friend Emma, she got 2 strikes, and we were like, where the hell did that come from? I was expecting to like win, because I go bowling quite often with Elliot, but I was not on game tonight. Last night. I was not on my game last night. And to be fair, it was like, I think I get quite competitive when I'm with Elliot, but then I was like, I don't care. This is just fun to just be with the gals, be with the gals. Right, that's the under eyes. I might put a little bit of just the NW10 just around my nose, just to brighten that up. Yeah, I want kind of like a no makeup look today. I've been kind of going on Instagram to find some inspiration, and I realised Olivia Holt does a lot of like she's very like, I feel her look, because sometimes she goes quite glam, but it's not like, you don't feel like, oh god, she's spent a lot of makeup. She just looks like quite sexy. And then sometimes she literally has like no makeup, and I'm like, you just look gorgeous. I do have some girl crushes on some celebrities, and I just look at their Instagram and I'm like, oh, you're so pretty. So pretty, so pretty. Right. So that is the amount of coverage that I want. A little bit of MAC Invisible Set Powder. Just going to take it. Ooh, there's not very much in the lid. But yeah, the weather this week has just been, I say week, like the whole freaking 2 months has been miserable. We've had snow, we've had hail, we've had rain, more snow, more rain. Terrible. I'm just taking, I think it's the setting brush from Real Techniques. I'm just taking a little bit of the set powder just under my eye. It's very nice, very, very smooth and very like soft matte. This powder is just so like, it's like a total blow. So I went for my advanced certification at MAC a few weeks ago, which basically, if you don't know, I might do a video about like MAC and like my life working there. But you have like different levels of certification, which basically means you go to London, you get kind of tested on your makeup skill, and then you get certification. So you have straw ones, so that's like to do makeovers on people. There's different levels for that, and then there's advanced, which you don't have to do advanced. They kind of expect you to do the straw ones, obviously, because you're a straw makeup artist, but the advanced ones they don't expect you to do. You basically choose to do it if you want to. It looks good if you do it. And I went for that and I passed first time, and it was really intense, really intense. You have different modules to do. So like you do like skin, get tested, like you have 10 minutes to do this specific skin, you have 10 minutes to do this specific contour, and then you have, what else do you have? Brows, liner, lashes, false lashes, lips, and tattoo cover. And you have like 10 or 15 minutes to do each one. I think liner and lashes are 15, and then everything else is 10. I think, I can't remember. And you have to do both sides. So if it's eyes, you have to do both eyes. So it's a little bit stressful, quite stressful. You go into like a bit of a trance, it's very strange. But it was really, really fun. I had a really good time, and I came out of it an Advance Certified Artist. But that's Advanced 1, and you have Advanced 2, which is like editorial makeup, which I'd love to do. But it seems very like intense to do that. I'm using a little bit of concrete from MAC. This is from the Navy x9. They've discontinued concrete, but you can still get it in this palette if you want to. And I've been really liking this through my brows recently. Going for like a very soft brow, because I've never really gotten on with my brows. I'm just using a 266 from MAC. I've never really gotten on my brows to a point where I'm like, oh, I love the way it looks on me. I always find it's like, oh, it just doesn't really suit my face shape, or oh, it doesn't really look like clean, or oh, it looks too clean, it looks almost like made up. But I've been doing it this way, like with this, like a real grey, because I used to use like a real grey colour, and then I stopped doing it because I thought, oh, it's maybe more of like an earthy tone might suit me better, but I've gone back to like a real true grey, and it just looks so nice and soft but still full. And also the 266 from MAC it's like firm, but the very tip of it is very fluffy, so you get this real like dense of colour but soft finish. It doesn't look like it's been drawn on. You can be really like light-handed with it and still get a good amount of product on, but I just really like how that looks. It's just so soft and so easy. Sometimes I feel like I also use a little bit too firm of a brush that, like I said, it goes on almost like a line, which I like for... Can you shut up? Go away. Which I like for like making almost like brow hairs, which I've been doing lately as well, when I have a bit more time or if I want to make a little more of a statement. But for actually just filling them in like this quite quick and easy, it's too much. It just puts too much pigment on, and it's very hard to blend once you've put like that much of firm pigment on, because you've kind of really pressed it in with like a very firm brush, so it's harder to blend it, and then you have to kind of even it out by putting that much product everywhere else. Whereas this, you get a real dispersive product with like a 266. Ooh, what have I done there? I do have a story. So I was going to do loads of videos on Easter Friday because I had that day off, and I was like, I'm going to do loads of videos. I was prepared. My mum asked me to go to Tesco, so I had to pick up Elliot up, I think at like 2 or 3 from work. No, yeah, 3 from work, because he finished at 3. And this was like about, I think at like 12, my mum was like, oh, can you just go to Tesco and get some more Easter eggs, because your brothers have decided that they wanted Easter eggs. My brothers are like in their 30s. My eldest is 32, second oldest is 30, and the one just above me is 26. I'm 22, and they were like, I assume you've already bought the eggs, Mum? And my mum was like, no. So she was like, can you just go quickly go get eggs, any eggs you can find? Well, actually no, she said specifically mini eggs if you can. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I go to Tesco to go get these eggs. It's pouring down rain, so I go there with my trolley. It's also like packed because it's Easter Friday. It's Good Friday. I was going to say Easter Friday. It's no, Good Friday. I'm just using a little bit of Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm trying to use it up. I've had it for ages. I'm trying to bloody use up my fucking primer. Oh, sorry. Stupid primers. Anyway, so I go there, it's pouring rain. Finally get my stuff. The eggs I have, I got mini egg boxes because that's all they had for mini eggs, and so I had the ones with the mug. So the boxes are really big, but they were on like 3 for £10, something like that. So I got those. Oh, I'm just going to put a little bit of MAC False Lash Maximizer through my brows. I did this on counter the other day on like a demo that I did, and Becky, the girl that's leading, she was like, it's not gonna work, you're gonna make them go white. And I was like, no Becky, I do this for my brows. And she's like, it's gonna go white, I just don't understand. And I actually put it through, and she was like, oh, because all it does on your brows is it's like a mega hold, and it also, so it pulls them up so really fluffy, but also it puts texture on them to make them like super duper fluffy looking. So I love MAC Brow Set, the clear, but if you want like a real natural brow and a real fluffy textured brow, I like this. Anyway, so I go to Tesco. So these boxes are too big to put in bags, so I had to just leave them in the trolley and then my other bits and bobs were in the bag and then yeah, I had to put the eggs in the trolley, and so it was raining, so I was like, right, I had to like not dawdle. I wasn't like going too fast, like walking too fast in my trolley, because I physically couldn't push it, but push it that fast. But I was trying to get there promptly within good time, so the boxes didn't disintegrate. So there's the car park's quite large, and so to cross like the road, there's like a little level crossing, so you can cross the road. I'm just using a little bit of like what's it called, No Pressure from Benefit cream shadow pot. Creases cream eyeshadow, there you go, that's what it's called. So I go to the level crossing, it's clear, I check both sides, and I'm like, oh perfect. It's usually like, because it was so busy, I was like, oh, I was going to have to wait for ages. No, it was clear. I go on it, go halfway across, and a car hits me. I'm not even kidding, a car literally hits me. I heard the noise of a car so near me, and then as I was hearing it, it comes up and hits me. It knocks me like onto my trolley. Luckily I was holding onto the trolley quite firm to be able to push it, because the gravel was quite like quite wobbly, so you have to really like push your trolley like firmly. She kind of knocks me sideways because she comes at me from my side, from my left, so I kind of knock onto like my right hand side and kind of onto my trolley because I was like bracing on there. So luckily I didn't fall over, but she hit me so hard that like stuff like flew out my trolley. My trolley didn't actually like fall because it's like four-legged, like it's quite stable, but stuff flew out of it. That's like how hard she hit me. And like my milk went everywhere. It was terrible. I literally just broke down crying because I was like, it was just like the shock of it. I hurt a little bit. I got like quite a few bruises, but yeah, I was just in absolute shock. And the woman was absolutely like bereft. She was like, I could not believe I just did that. I'm so sorry. She was trying to help me. She picked up all my stuff off the floor, helped me push my trolley to my car, helped me unload everything off my trolley because I was just like an absolute I was just a mess. And she was like, your stuff's getting wet, you have your eggs, it's getting all soaked. So she's like, right, I'm gonna put them all in your car for you. And literally my first instinct was just to call my dad. Literally as I was there crying in the middle of the road, I was like, Dad, please come get me, because literally our house is like right around the corner from Tesco. Only drove there because I had so much to carry. I'm just gonna use a little bit of Chanel Bronze University with a Technique Spilled Metals 103 brush. But yeah, so she waits there with me for my dad, and my dad was like, if someone gets injured in a car collision, you legally have to call the police. Even if you're not like seriously injured, you do have to call the police, because there are things like, especially with adrenaline, you may not feel any pain, you may not think you did, but as soon as your adrenaline goes down, things might turn up, like have like a delayed response. Oh, the wind. So he was like, right, you have to call the police, especially since it was on a level crossing, because I was like, as soon as a pedestrian goes onto a level crossing, they have right of way. If you hit them, you're in the wrong, regardless of if they just came out in front of you. I mean, obviously if they do come out in front of you, like, it's hard to kind of be like, yeah, it was their fault, but if they're on a level crossing and they're already halfway across by the time you get there, you're in the wrong. Like I said, she was absolutely like bereft by what she did, but you have to call the police. They were like, oh, since no one's seriously injured right then and there, and the road isn't blocked off, we can't really put you as a priority. So they're like, we may or may not come to sort it out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, great. So we may or may not have to wait. So we're like, we'll wait for 15 minutes, and if they're not there, we'll just leave. And like we exchange information and stuff just in case. So it gets to like, this happened at 1:30. It gets to like 2 o'clock by the time like the 15 minutes goes, and yeah, police aren't there, so we're like, well, we'll just go home because it's raining, it's cold, we don't want to just be like waiting here. So we went there, we got home, and literally like a couple minutes after we got home, my dad gets a call being like, hey, it's the police, where are you? We're at Tesco. And he's like, oh, well, we left, like, come round to our house, it's just around the corner. Because they're like, we really want to get a statement from you. So they come round, please come round to my house, I have to give a statement. It's very dramatic. And they were like, would you like to press charges and would you be prepared to press would you like to press charges and be prepared to go to court to not testify, because we don't testify in the UK, something else, can't remember, to act as a witness, that was it, act as a witness against her, and for her to potentially be charged with reckless driving. That was it. I was trying to remember exactly what they said, because the way they phrased it was just so like formal, and I was like, I'd rather not press charges. But obviously, like, personally, like, obviously if they were like, you want to press charges, and I said yes, they'd have to like push you pressing charges, like they'd have to really actively do it. But if you don't want to, your statement will just be a witness. If they then will then be like your statement. your statement will then be like witness enough for and be used in court if the CPS decide to charge her. Will you shut up? Oh, I'm just using in Extreme Dimension mascara in waterproof from MAC. So yeah, obviously if the CPS want to charge then they can, but a lot of the time they don't, unless it's unless they like breathalyze her and she's like over the limit, then yeah, then that would be, because they take that very seriously. Or if they had video footage of her being on her phone or something like that, they're like, cool, well we'll just go over to her house and have a statement from her, probably to like breathalyze and stuff like that and get her side, and then they would decide. But I haven't heard anything, so I assume she's not. She's not being charged. I'm assuming she just probably had a warning or something. But yeah, she was like I felt sorry for her, because she obviously was really shocked by what she did and didn't really think that she'd be capable of doing that. And I was thinking, like, as a driver myself, like, I'd be absolutely shocked. Obviously, I'd never like knocked anyone down or even been close to knocking anyone down, so I'm not like sorry for her for not paying attention, because it really like it scared the shit out of me. It literally did. I was absolutely shocked that it happened, but I feel sorry for her, like, because now she has to, like, especially if anything bad happened, like if it like was really bad, like say she hit me like at a slightly higher speed and like I went over like the windshield or something, or like fell to the ground, because if like you get knocked to the ground, that's like head injury, that's you can't, that's bad. That's just bad. That is dangerous. Where's my blush? Oh, here it is. I'm just using a little bit of casual colour in Blind Score. Yeah, so I felt sorry for her, but I was also like, you can't just not pay attention on the road and get away with it. But yeah, I didn't want like to actively ruin her day. So I was like, I'd rather not pursue like pressing oh, these smell so good. Anyway, pursue pressing charges, but obviously if you have to, you have to. And they're like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, it was just, it's mad. Like it's literally, like it didn't have to happen. Luckily, like I said, it did not hurt more. Luckily, I wasn't someone like. Luckily, my trolley wasn't like a buggy. Like, imagine that. Like, she was lucky to have hit me and not someone else. Yeah, she was lucky to have hit me and not anyone else, because who knows? It could have been someone in a wheelchair. Could have been, you know, it could have been a mother and child. Could have been mother and baby. Like, it could have been like so much more like vulnerable. Like, I'm definitely not an unvulnerable person. I'm very like uncoordinated. I have fibromyalgia. I'm not in like a safe zone by any means, but on a scale of like relative to something else, it, you know, it could, like, she could have hit someone worse than me. And she could have also hit someone that would have been really pissed off and angry at her, and I wasn't. I was just like in shock. But someone could have easily been like, why are you fucking looking at the road? Like, could have been like angry at her, and she was obviously in a state herself of like, she wasn't like sad or like what's it called, like like crying or anything, but she was like in a bit of a trance, I think, like, because she was being quite quiet. She wasn't really talking too much. I think also she didn't really want to say anything that would make anything worse. But she was being very sweet and very caring, and yeah. But it was just mad. I was like, that I've never had that experience before. This is just a little bit of like a sample of Luna cream colour base. I still need to get a full size, but I'm like, literally that sample's lasted me ages. I might put a little bit more powder on because I'm looking at a teeny bit more shiny than I was expecting. But yeah, just be careful, guys, literally. It was weird, like, I kind of, as soon as I heard it, I kind of braced, like, the car. I kind of braced myself because I was like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna get hit. It felt like so long, from when I heard it to when it happened, but it was literally like I heard it and then it happened, but my brain literally went into kind of like protection mode and was like, brace yourself, literally you're gonna get hit by a car. It was so weird. Don't recommend that experience for anyone because it was very, very awful. I didn't have any injuries until the next day. My arm basically swelled up, the arm that I kind of like braced myself onto, my right hand. It like swelled up and it was super duper painful. I couldn't like move it properly. I was like at work and being like, guys, can you serve this person because I can't, like, they want like brows done and I literally can't lift my arm that high. So, oh god, I went to the doctors that evening and they were like, obviously because I was like, oh yeah, I realised this morning that was hurting, and they were like, well, why didn't you come soon? I'm like, because I went to work. I had to go to work. I couldn't just like miss work because my arm's sore. They kept being like, oh, the x-ray closes in like 4 minutes, you should have come earlier, and I'm like, it's work. I need to make my money. Got an x-ray, it wasn't broken. They were concerned because there was a lot of swelling, but they were like, you can physically move it, it doesn't feel like there's any like crunching, if that makes sense. Like it physically moves correctly, it's not moving abnormally. It's just obviously you're in a lot of pain, and I was in a lot of pain, I was like shooting up my arm. Basically they were like, you've traumatized the tissue, the muscle, the tissue, the soft tissue, and that's caused it to inflame up with fluid. And because it's in like an area where there's a lot of nerves, that sort of area, it was like my elbow that it was like swelled up, that area has like a lot of nerves that shoot down to the fingers and up to the shoulder, and that's why I was getting a lot of pain there as well. Ooh. So they were like, you have to just basically elevate it, allow the fluid to kind of dispute, put a cold compress on it and take lots of painkillers to get rid of the pain, and they're like, you just have to let it run its course. I was like, as long as it's not broken, that's great. Because they were also worried because it did have good movement, and because they were like, it's really swelled up, they were worried that there was like, instead of it, the bone being broken, they were worried that like some had like bits of bone had like chipped off almost, and like there were like bits of bone just floating around. Luckily that wasn't the case too, because they had to like keep moving my arm in different positions just to make sure there was no like little chips of bone anywhere. And they're like, I'm so sorry this is hurting you, but it's for your own good. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, it's fine. I put a tiny bit of lip erase on just to kind of get rid of the redness because my lips are a little bit rosy today. Lip wise, I'm kind of feeling balmy, so I think I'm gonna go with my Baby Lips in Peach Kiss. It's like a very like peachy nude, and it's just very pretty. Very nice, I like it. So that is my fresh, the day after the night out makeup. Very clean and easy. Oh, sugar. Done. I'll put that away in a minute. I hope you like it. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm sorry I couldn't film recently, but I've had a very crazy time recently, as you can tell from all my stories. But yeah, I have some really great content in store. So if you are interested in keeping up to date, press the subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, press the notification button, and don't forget to like this video. Cool. See you next time.